Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're jumping into some really fascinating current events. Got quite a mix for you.
Yeah, some really surprising stuff.
Absolutely. We've got our sources lined up, and honestly, there are some crucial insights, but also some, well, unexpected twists here.
Definitely.
Okay, so first, we're going to head over to the Netherlands. There's this curious situation with political party attendance in their parliament. Bit strange. Then we'll switch gears, go over to Suriname. Big leadership change there. A new president stepping in, facing huge national challenges.
Yeah, huge. And that includes this newly discovered oil wealth,
Yeah,
the promises and, well, the perils too.
exactly. And finally, something a bit different. A really inventive, though, controversial local protest tactic. Involves Google Maps.
Oh, the Zandvoort story, right?
That's the one. In a Dutch coastal town.
It's going to be a good deep dive, I think. Because these stories, they might seem kind of separate at first.
Yeah, they do.
But you'll see they really connect to these bigger themes, don't they? Like governance, how we manage resources, community action.
Right.
Our goal here is really to pull out the most important bits, those nuggets of knowledge from the sources we've looked at. Give those aha moments, see how these big global things play out locally.
Okay, let's unpack this first one then, because it's pretty wild. Reports from our sources are showing that the PVV...
That's Geert Wilders' party, yeah. Currently the largest in the Netherlands.
Exactly. They have this, well, let's call it a curious attendance record in the Tweede Kamer. That's their parliament. Journalists actually investigated this and found that nearly half of all the debates, they just didn't have a single PVV member there participating.
Yeah, and this is a key point, because while actually being there participating, it isn't strictly legally required.
Right. No law says you have to sit there.
No, but it definitely brings up questions, doesn't it? About, civic duty, political accountability, the Tweede Kamer. I mean, that's where the laws get discussed, debated, voted on.
Yeah, the core work.
It's got space for 150 members total. And the PVV, they hold 37 of those seats. That's a big chunk.
So, okay, if there's no legal requirement, what's the expectation then? Is it just about how it looks to the public? Or is there something, I don't know, deeper about what an elected official is supposed to do?
Well, I think it's both.
These folks are chosen by voters, right? And they get paid pretty well $144,000 a year.
That's a really crucial distinction. The law might be silent, but you could argue there's a kind of democratic contract, with the voters.
An implied contract?
Exactly. It implies a commitment to actually take part in making the laws. And other parties, like the BBB, they often represent rural interests, and the Socialist SP, they voice pretty strong concerns about this.
Okay, what are they saying?
Well, Caroline van der Plas from the BBB, she pointed out that members are, quote, chosen and paid by the voter.
Right.
And their main job is in the parliament,
Yeah.
making and voting on laws. So she feels you have to demonstrate that you're taking that seriously.
Show up.
And
Makes sense. And
Jimmy Dyke of the SP, he went even further, called it antisocial, basically.
Oh, strong words.
Yeah, to take that salary, make big promises to voters, and then just not show up for these crucial debates.
Yeah.
It's a real puzzle, though, because the PVV leader, Geert Wilders, he hasn't actually responded to this research.
Oh, really?
No comment. Nope. So we don't really know why the PVV members are often absent. It's unclear.
Yeah, that PVV situation definitely leaves you wondering about accountability, doesn't it?
It really does.
Okay, let's pivot now. Different part of the world, Suriname. New leader there facing, well, equally profound challenges, just different ones.
Right.
Our sources are reporting Suriname just welcomed its first female president, Jennifer Simons.
Yes, and her party, the NDP, it's been a dominant force in Surinamese politics for a while. They won the elections a few months back, and she officially took office just today.
It's a big moment for the country.
Huge moment. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, Simon is stepping into a nation facing just immense, multifaceted challenges.
Like what specifically?
Well, Suriname is currently a very poor country. Its healthcare system, education system, they're really struggling.
Okay.
And she's promised to tackle these major problems. But with a really striking focus on education, she actually said, if you don't educate your children, you have no future.
That's a powerful statement. Long-term vision.
Exactly. It highlights that long-term vision that's so crucial for, nation building.
That's a bold vision, yeah. And it brings us to something that could be, well, a total game changer for Suriname. I've heard whispers about this. There's potential for massive change, right? Something about oil?
Oh, yeah. That's the big one.
Tell us about these recent discoveries. Why all the buzz?
Okay, so just a few years ago, they discovered significant oil reserves, huge ones, in the seabed, just off Surinam's coast.
Wow, offshore.
Yep. And if it's still but if the country can successfully extract and sell this oil, well, it could generate billions of euros.
Billions. For a country like Suriname, that's...
It's a staggering amount of money. Compared to their current economy, it's transformative potential. And this is exactly the kind of wealth Simons is hoping she can use to solve many of those really deep-seated issues we mentioned.
Right. Healthcare, education.
Exactly.
So, I mean, that's a monumental opportunity, huge potential upside. But let's be realistic, right? These kinds of big resource discoveries, especially in developing nations, they often come with their own problems. It's not just about distributing the money fairly, is it?
Oh, absolutely not. That's a critical point.
What are those common pitfalls we've seen elsewhere? And maybe how can Suriname try to avoid them?
Well, it brings up that whole concept often called the resource curse.
Right, I've heard that term.
Yeah. So while finding oil is obviously exciting, many people are, understandably worried. Worried that the actual residents of Suriname won't see the benefits.
That the money won't trickle down?
Or that it won't be fairly distributed at all. History, unfortunately, is just full of examples where discovering natural wealth leads to, well, corruption, inequality, sometimes even conflict.
Instead of making things better.
Instead of broad societal improvement. Exactly. So Suriname is going to need really robust institutions, transparency, a very clear long-term strategy to try and make sure this oil wealth actually benefits all its citizens and to avoid those classic traps.
It's a really delicate balancing act then, with massive stakes.
Huge stakes, yeah.
Okay, now for our third story. We're heading back to the Netherlands. Specifically, this charming coastal town, Zandvoort. And this one, it's pure genius, maybe a bit mischievous.
Yeah, pretty clever.
The residents there, they're just fed up, completely fed up with the huge number of cars that flood in looking for parking, especially, on nice beach weekends.
Oh, I can imagine. Nightmare.
Totally. And they've come up with this really clever trick.
Yeah.
Using Google Maps.
What's fascinating here, I think, is the creative use of these digital tools for very localized community actions. Zandvoort's a popular beach spot, right?
Very popular.
So hundreds, maybe thousands of cars flock there. Causes major parking headaches, traffic jams. Residents can't even easily get to their own homes sometimes.
Yeah.
And they're not just putting up, physical no-entry signs anymore. They're digitally closing off their neighborhood.
That's right. It's brilliant, isn't it? They're basically exploiting features on navigation apps like Google Maps that let users report road closures or, accidents.
The reporting feature.
Yeah. So when multiple residents all report that an entire street is closed, well, Google Maps algorithm thinks it's a real closure.
Safety in numbers, digitally speaking.
Exactly. So the app shows it as like a red line on the map, makes it look like loads of streets in the neighborhood are just inaccessible. And what happens? It reroutes all the unsuspecting drivers away.
Okay, but this definitely raises an important question, doesn't it? About the boundaries of community protest and, its impact on just general civic order.
Yeah, the authorities must love this.
Well, the municipality, they know all about it. And they are definitely not happy. Not happy at all.
What have they said?
They've expressed anger, disappointment, basically saying that if everyone starts taking the law into their own hands like this, it just creates chaos. And it doesn't solve the parking problem. It just pushes it somewhere else to other neighborhoods.
Right, someone else's problem. So what are they doing about it? Can they stop it?
Well, they've tried. They contacted Google to get the false reports removed, and they've put up these big signs at the entrance to Zandvoort telling visitors, ignore your navigation, follow the official parking signs.
Ignore the tech. But the residents, are they backing down?
Apparently not. They've said they have no plans to stop, though they are being slightly considerate.
Oh, how so?
They apparently make sure these fake closures only happen on the busy weekends so that, postal workers, package delivers, they can still get through during the week.
Okay. Selective digital disruption. It's a very clever, if, definitely controversial workaround. Really highlights the power of digital collective action, doesn't it?
It really does. So as we kind of wrap up this deep dive, we've touched on several core themes, haven't we? And they connect across these different places and situations. We saw that whole concept of political accountability, civic duty, really highlighted by the PVV situation in the Dutch parliament, the expectations we place on elected officials.
Yeah, what does it mean to represent people?
Exactly. Then we explored that monumental task of, well, nation building and trying to distribute resources equitably in Suriname with their new female president facing that double-edged sword of oil discovery.
Huge opportunity, huge risk.
Right. And finally, we saw those creative but definitely contentious boundaries of community protest and digital activism in Zandvoort, local citizens pushing back against what they see as systemic issues using the tools they have.
It's actually incredible when you put them side by side, how these stories, from the highest levels of government right down to street-level ingenuity in a small town,
Right.
they reflect these really universal challenges and just human responses to them. Understanding these specifics, these details, it really helps you become truly well-informed, I think, about the complex forces shaping our world.
Absolutely.
So maybe something to leave you with. Considering the challenges we talked about, the Dutch parliament dealing with political engagement or maybe lack thereof, and the new Surinamese president managing this potential national wealth, how much responsibility do you think individuals, whether they're citizens like the ones in Zandvoort or elected officials like in the Netherlands or Suriname, how much responsibility do they truly bear for the collective well-being, the future of their whole community?
That's a big question.
It is. Something to ponder until next time.